Joined by Jonas McEwen, the Tony the Boss Ross Athlete of the Week. Man, I feel like this, just feeling a deja vu, like we've done this before. I just don't understand it. But, man, congratulations. I know we picked you for the 2 home run game you had that week, but, you're leading this team in pretty much every category. You've had a heck of a season overall.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Okay. Let's talk about what you like best. I mean, you're a pitcher and you also hit, obviously, leading the team in like I said, almost every category. What do you like better, hitting or pitching?
I actually prefer pitching better. I put more time and more effort in trying to be a better pitcher. But, yeah, hitting, I guess, is going pretty well, too.
Hitting's fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about yourself as a pitcher. I mean, what do you think makes a good pitcher?
I mean, you always got to have a good fastball. That's your pitch you always rely on. But I think my specialty is the strikeout pitch, curveball.
So you use curveball as your strikeout pitch?
Yep. I love throwing it down and away, down in the dirt, getting them to chase.
I always like the chin high pass ball. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
Because nobody can lay off it.
Yeah, that's right.
Talk about do you have when you go out to throw, do you have a plan of what you want to do and how you want to approach hitters?
Yeah, there's always a plan, like knowing who's up to bat, but my main priority is fastball, get ahead in the count, staying ahead, and put myself in a good position for a strikeout pitch, or as Coach Lowry would like to say, use as least amount of pitches as possible.
Yeah. Sometimes that's kind of a lost art these days. Everybody just juicing up, trying to throw it past everybody on everything. I get the feeling your philosophy is you don't want to go deep in the count.
Yeah, just get them while you can, preferably at 3 pitches.
Yeah. It's got to be tough too. I mean, high school, you don't really get a lot of time to for want of a better word, scout guys. I mean, in the conference, you have guys but I mean, if you had a chance to look at them, it might be easier.
Yeah, a lot of conference guys are just guys we've grown up with, really, like played against all these years. It's easier now, I think. A lot of teams are posting their games on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
You can just get a nice little scout there.
I didn't think about that. I mean, you could do a lot of scouting online these days.
Yeah, it's not as big as like football or basketball is, but you got to take what you can get.
Talk about your hitting. I mean, do you have an approach there as well? I mean, you want to get a hit early in the count? You want to work the count? I mean, what kind of things are you thinking about?
Yeah, you really want to jump on the fastball when you can, but if you hit that, a lot of teams like to throw you a bunch of curveballs. I've seen so many curveballs this year, so just reacting, seeing the ball spin, poke it in a gap somewhere.
First time I ever saw you and your brother play was for Post 27, and you were only freshmen when you started there. Do you feel like that experience helped you?
Oh yeah, I think Post 27 a lot. Playing up with a lot of guys going to bigger schools like Plymouth and Warsaw. You just learn a bunch from those guys, and then you make a whole bunch of friends that you have for the rest of your life.
And I get the impression too. I mean, you're playing guys. For the most part, they're probably in a year or two going to be playing college ball. I mean, that kind of competition had to help you on your high school team.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially those guys are playing, 3A, 4A baseball, and then you compete against them all year. You come back, play 1A season. It's like, these guys are throwing slow.
You got a lot of young guys on your team this year. You and your brother, obviously seniors. Yeah. I got to believe you guys were the role models. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, it's always been like that, really. Just the senior class at Culver's always done a good job of leading and really stepped into that job this year and trying to be the best leader I could.
Do you feel like, I mean, I don't know how to ask this. Obviously, you're invested in baseball as a sport overall, probably the program there. I mean, Is this something you're going to come back over the years and say, I helped build that?
Yeah, it'd definitely be great to see that. And last night with the sectional loss, we got to say a few words, and I was like, if you want to thank me in any way, it's like make baseball important at Culver.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to throw. I'm an old guy, but I remember
Yeah.
back in my playing days, Culver was. I mean, they were really, really good. They hosted their own sectional. They won it
Yeah.
almost every year. I mean, there is a real baseball tradition in Culver.
Yeah, we've had guys like Coach Lowry and Coach Stevens. They won sectionals back in their days, and they just really like emphasize that, like build that culture, want your picture on the wall.
Yeah, it's just nobody wanted to play Culver back in those days. I mean,
Yeah.
they played well. Do you feel like maybe it's headed that way again, getting that tradition back?
Yeah, we had a real good freshman class. I think they're really invested, and I think they can bring that back to Culver.
Your coach has a lot of enthusiasm too. I'm sure he's going to help.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about your other sports. I mean, you played football, you played basketball. You've had a really great sports career at Culver.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
When did you start playing football?
I started playing football when we moved here to Culver. We came from Westville. They don't have football over there, and it's not the biggest thing. I didn't even know you could play football in high school when I went there.
That's a soccer school, isn't it, over there?
Yeah, soccer, basketball.
Yeah. What is it about football you like?
Football, I just love the brotherhood. So many life lessons you learn from that. I'd put baseball right under football, but you just learn so much life lessons and just working together.
I get the feeling baseball is still going to be your favorite.
Oh, yeah, baseball's always been my favorite.
When did you start playing?
As soon as I could throw a ball. So, 3 or 4?
Yeah. Okay. And I'll let the cat out of the bag. We've done this once before. Your dad was a player back in the day. What's his name?
Matt McEwen.
Okay. And he played where?
Purdue Northwest. I think it was called something different back in the day when he played.
Where did he go to high school? Do you ever tell you that?
He went to Westville.
Really? So
Yep.
I got to believe he was a player at Westville too.
Yep.
How about your mom? What's her name?
Jessica McEwen.
Okay. And then brothers and sisters, what are their names?
2 older sisters, Maisie and Amaya, and then Caleb, my twin, and then Troy, my younger brother.
Probably no competition in that house over anything, right?
No. Basketball in the driveway got competitive. Wiffle ball games.
And you got a twin brother. What? Talk about that a little bit. What's that like?
Oh yeah, it's hard sometimes. You're just doing the same thing as the other person, and you kind of get annoyed with each other. But just blessed with that opportunity.
It's got to be cool to play with your brother too. I mean, he's an outstanding athlete.
Oh yeah, I'll say I'm better on the radio, just so you can hear it.
I'll cut that part out for you. You can play it back for him on your phone over and over again.
All right, sounds good.
It's got to be fun. You're the quarterback. He's the wide receiver. I mean, he pitches, you pitch. I mean, I'm going to ask about the quarterback wide receiver thing. Did you kind of know where he was on the field when you went back to throw? And then I know he's going to be there, so was he an option every time?
Oh yeah, it was just throw it up and hope Caleb catches it a lot of the time, and he knew that, so he wouldn't argue.
I'm sure you played together all your life.
Oh yeah, played same sports all our lives.
Let's talk about school a little bit. You're also the valedictorian at Culver. I mean, what's your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject is economics with Mr. Kling.
And what about economics attracts you? Is it just that it's so applicable to today?
Oh yeah, and I love Mr. Kling. He does a good job, and then it also carries into what I want to do in college.
Okay, tell me, what do you want to do in college?
I'm gonna attend Indiana University to major in business administration at the Kelly School of Business.
And the Kelly School of Business is a big deal.
Oh yeah.
What was it like trying to get in there? I know their requirements are really, really strict.
Yeah, and especially with the national championship, they had like I don't even know the number, just so many more applicants. And when I saw the message that I got accepted, I was so happy, through the roof.
That's a pretty big deal. I mean, that is a really big deal. And a lot of those graduates from the Kelly School, they go on to some really good jobs.
Yep, and that's really why I chose it, job placement.
So tell me, what do you want to do when you get done?
I mean, the main goal as a business management major is obviously CEO somewhere, and that'd be awesome. But I really just want to be somewhere with a well-paying job, start my family.
What okay, I'm not going to ask you if there's somebody in the horizon there. You got plenty of time to find somebody to start a family.
Oh yeah,
just some advice. But no, and you know, what is coaching in your future at all? Do you think?
I mean, especially like if I have a kid who plays, I'd love to be a part of that. That's what my dad did for me and what his dad did for him.
So you'd just stay with the dad role. You wouldn't want to like coach your own high school team or anything like that.
No, I don't know if I'd be real interested in that. I'd love to share my thoughts on the game and everything like that.
You and your brother both, you're the seniors on that team this year. I mean, you probably have already had a chance to kind of, you know, at least lead a bunch of younger guys.
Yeah, we've done a good job of that all year. Just trying to put them in a better position next year where we're not going to be there, where they can lead their team.
Well, man, I want to thank you for taking time to let us get to know you a little bit, and good luck to you. And I'm sure we'll run into each other at some point down in the future.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me.
And that is Jonas McEwen, and you stay right there. And Culver Academy head coach Kirk Christensen joins me here in our segment. And I got to say, Tony Plotho was doing the game with me the other night, and we both came to the conclusion that one of the entrance requirements at the academy must be you can hit 300 because you got them up and down your lineup.
Yeah, we had a good first inning there, and you're right, 1 through 9 put together pretty good at bats and hit the ball on a line. I know Tony well, coached against him for a lot of years before Ryan, so
yeah,
that's a nice compliment from Tony for sure.
I thought Max had a really good game for you, your shortstop, Grunberg. I mean, he seems like, I don't know if it's always that way, but the other night, I mean, he was kind of your emotional leader too.
Yeah, we kind of go as he goes. I think that's a pretty good observation. He did have a good day at the plate. He was able to hit the ball hard 4 times. When he hits the all fields is when he's most dangerous, and he was pulling the ball in that first game, and so we had a little bit of luck, right? The line drive kind of finds a gap a little bit, but he did hit the ball hard, and when he plays well, it certainly kind of sets a tone for all of us. I do think that Max is a pretty emotional kid, and he's a super experienced kid. He's a really talented player, of course, but if we're going to have any success at this point in the year, it's going to need to come because Max is playing well, but both with his bat and then defensively, and then obviously what Jack did on the mound. We're a pretty young team, but that game was certainly led by the seniors.
You mentioned Jack. I was going to bring him up too. I mean, that was almost an old school performance. I mean, he gave a clinic on how to be a pitcher, I thought, in that game.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, I was really happy for him to have a performance like that, of course. But he pitches. He just doesn't throw, and he I thought did a nice job mixing it up and pitching to the black a little bit, and he was efficient. And so I think he did a great job as well. Not just because he he kept he just kept mixing it up enough where we either could attack and try and get a strikeout, or we thought we had a pitch where he could execute it, and when he did, it just turned into out. So he did a great job.
Just look to me like he had a plan of how he was going to approach the hitters and what he was going to do, and he stuck with that, and he was rewarded with it.
Yeah, I think that's right. And sometimes you can have a plan and either the other team beats you, or you're just not able to execute it. And in this instance, right, Jack continued to sort of stick to it, and didn't kind of get out ahead of himself. And I think that's a big part of it. Is he's a pretty cerebral kid. He's kind of got a high baseball IQ, but he's thinking out there. And I think if he can kind of stay within himself, he's probably at his best. He's had some times, because he's a competitor too. He's had some times this spring where I think he's almost been too emotional. And when he loses his poise, I think he loses some of his effectiveness. And so when he stays within himself, he can get people out. Now, of course, his ball was moving. He had a lot of run on the ball.
Yeah, he did.
I've seen him throw a little harder at times this year, but I don't know if I've seen his two-seam move quite as much as this one was moving. I mean, everything had a little bit of run on it.
I was going to say, right-handers especially. I mean, that had to have been a bad night for a right-handed hitter, because that ball had a lot of run every time he threw it, and his arm slot adds to that. Yep,
exactly. And so he has a ball running in on your hands, and then he has just enough spin that a ball was running away from there. So he had a lot of swing and miss, which he doesn't normally get. And I think that was a testament to how the ball was moving.
We talked about a couple of seniors already, but another one that I thought had a key, at least a bunch of key plays. Your center fielder, Richie, was just, there were a couple of balls I thought, no, there's no way. And he ends up with them in his glove.
Yeah, he can really run out there. And so he's a difference maker in center field for sure. I mean, even that weird play where he dove and it kind of popped out late, but it was a little bit hidden, and so the base runners were kind of caught, didn't know what to do. That's a ball that a lot of kids don't even get to. And if it is caught, it might be because pre-pitch your right fielder has a shot at it by maybe playing a little bit, shading a little bit in the gap. But it was our center fielder that chased it down, and then he pops up and hits his cutoff. So even the relay was done right, giving us a chance to get the force at third. So yeah, he's a good player. I mean, I was I get a little nervous. He plays so shallow sometimes.
Yeah.
And that did beat us late. You won't be surprised to hear I told him right before that inning, back up. We don't want any doubles over our head. We have a 3-run lead kind of deal. And sure enough, he got beat with a double over his head. But with him playing shallow, with his speed, he can get to a lot of balls, both hit over his head and then, ranging to his left and right. So he helps us, no doubt about it, take some outs or picks up some outs for us.
I don't know if he did it on purpose, but if he didn't, it was a smart play anyway. The way he rolled over when on that play hid whether he had it or not, so there was no way anybody could figure out until, he stood up and it was on the ground.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know that he did it on purpose. I think it's just kind of the way the play unfolded. He gives such great effort. He leaves his feet sometimes, and yeah, you're right. That did it did hide the baseball just long enough where I think the runners were really stuck, and it was fast, a little bit chaotic, and he didn't quite know what to do. That kid in second, of course, was pretty much stuck, didn't know what to do.
Yeah, there was really no chance at that point, because what do you do? You got to make sure it's on the ground, and you couldn't see it. So.
Yeah.
Now, late in the game, you guys kept your cool, though. I mean, they were making a run, and a lot of teams maybe, I don't know, would have had a little bit more trouble. But I mean, you guys handled it and did what you had to do.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the seventh. I mean, that was a pretty tough spot. A couple of flares sort of find the find the grass, and all of a sudden you got two guys on and a pretty, capable stick at the plate, and someone we know and can respect that could leave the yard if we're not careful. Getting his third or fourth at bat that night off of Jack, and so it's pretty big spot. I like to think that Jack had confidence out there, but there's no doubt that it was pretty tight there at the end for sure.
Let's talk about the rest of the way here. I mean, you got a tough one on Saturday against Marion.
Yep.
I don't know if you stuck around and watched them play, but they have a lot of athletes and they run the bases really aggressively. I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough for sure. I do know Joe, and we've played Marion this year, and over the years, certainly know that they have a good program and kids up and down the lineup that have good bat to ball skills and will run a little bit. Obviously, they like Plymouth, they play a tough schedule, and so they're pretty tested, and I'm sure are playing with a lot of confidence now. No doubt they believe they can win. So we're gonna have to find ways to slow the running game down a little bit. That's gonna come down to, I think, probably our guy on the mound as much as it is, Frank behind the plate. And so we'll have to control the running game. I expect them to bunt a little bit, and so we're going to have to try and take the outs when we get them, and try and keep guys off the base paths to begin with. I think will be the first step, and try and get them to get themselves out, get them out front a little bit, and pop the ball up, and try and survive the game that way.
I didn't see I saw the pitcher they threw the other night. I was looking at some of the numbers with them, and he's got a couple of guys that. Once again, I look at strikeouts to walks ratio, and the guy the other night had only walked 7 guys the whole season. I mean, he's got some guys that can throw, it seems to me.
Yeah, that kid's pretty good. I'm glad that we're not going to see him. But they also are going to see the bottom or the back half of our staff too, and so it'll be a little bit of depth of pitching. And then who can put together some good at bats and maybe some timely hitting. At least I like to think that this game could come down to maybe trying to win a game 5-4 instead of 2-1. But we'll see. I'm sure that his number 2 and 3 are going to be ready to go because his kid went the distance as well. So we're going to have to try and find a way to get on base.
Let's talk about your team a little bit. I mean, what do you feel you're doing best right now? I mean, it seems like you got a really good dugout, a good chemistry. I mean, what do you like most about your guys?
I think that we're capable of playing well in all 3 phases. I do think that defensively we've tried to all year sort of think about just making the routine play, and when we've done that, you keep mistakes to a minimum, and you don't let things compound, and you kind of keep the crooked number off the board. I think it keeps us competitive deeper in the game, and so I feel pretty good about having that priority understood, and the kids have kind of bought into that. When we throw strikes and we eliminate some walks and hit by pitches, I really think that our pitching is good enough to keep us in the game. Offensively, we've got some talent at the top. It's going to take those guys showing up. But I think what I like most about the team is they seem to like each other, and they seem to enjoy baseball. And at this point in the year, if you can say that about your team, it says a lot. They've spent a lot of time competing now for 2 months together. It's also a busy time of year. There's all kinds of stuff going on campus and in their lives off the field. And so the fact that they want to be there, they want to be together, they enjoy being together, I think says an awful lot about this team.
If you get by Saturday, you got a huge task on you on Monday in the championship. I mean, those are 2 of the better teams around. I mean, this is a really, really difficult sectional.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I haven't really thought too much about Monday, to be honest. I've thought long enough to think, well, look, we would have Jack to come back, and ideally these 2 beat on each other a little bit on Saturday, and go through some of their arms and maybe maybe win a slugfest, and then we just get whatever's left on Monday with our best on the mound. But beyond that, I haven't really thought much about it. I just feel like our kids won a big game. I mean, for us, this was a really big win against Plymouth. And they've earned themselves a chance to try and compete against Marion. And for that, I'm really happy for them. I feel like it's been a nice year, and that they've earned this opportunity. And so I'm super excited for tomorrow, for Saturday. But I haven't spent a ton of time thinking too much about New Prairie and St. Joe. I mean, clearly I know they're both really, really good.
Well, and it's the old cliche, but it's true. One game at a time. You can't get there until you win this one.
That's right. That's exactly right. I told my assistant just a little bit ago. I said we'll worry about Monday at 1:00 on Saturday. Well, really, I mean, there's no reason to do it any other way.
Yeah, you're exactly right, man. Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it, and I guess we'll see you on Saturday.
Wonderful. Thanks so much.
Kurt Christensen, the head coach at the Culver Academy. The out-of-breath Mark Elliott joins me here in the coach's show. Sorry to interrupt your workout, man. I don't like being in the way of that.
No, it's my fault. I lost track of time, just, trying to clear my head can't overthink all this baseball stuff that's going on. So
I got to be honest with you, man. I get that out of breath just getting out of bed in the morning. So
yeah, I mean, happens to me sometimes too. So that's why I'm out here trying to help that.
Let's talk about your guys. I mean, I'm going to bring up a name. We've talked about him. Drew Bingaman is hitting over 500. I mean, he is one guy that I look at. He is a next level player, and he just brings so much to you guys.
Yeah, he's unreal. Being able to bat over 500 at any level, 1A level, whatever it is, it's incredible. And it's just his whole tool set. He can hit for power, has a bunch of extra base hits, a couple home runs. But if he misses a ball, hits the top of it, he has the speed to get to first and beat it out. So he really impacts the game everywhere.
And on the mound, I mean, anytime he is out there, you got a chance to win the game.
6 earned runs in 60 innings, 60 plus innings. So, yeah, pretty incredible. 83 strikeouts and only 10 walks. So,
I was going to say the last time I saw you guys play, he was pitching. He had almost I think it was 6 walks in the whole season. He had 5 wins. I mean, those are crazy numbers.
Yeah, we threw him out there against Mishawaka Marion, and we kind of had a different strategy for him. And it was, hey, if we walk a couple guys and we're working around a couple of their good hitters, we can work with that. So, yeah, he had like 6 walks most of the year, and I think he had 4 in that game, almost double his total. But it was kind of the plan that we had, and we went out and we won the game. So it worked.
I've seen them play too. I mean, they have some really disciplined hitters. It's kind of part of their game, that and running the bases. So I get that.
Yeah, and they threw out their number 1 against us, and pretty good pitcher, throwing hard, good off speed, and we lit him up. We scored 6 runs in the first 3 innings, and kind of didn't look back.
Let's talk about your team at this point. I mean, you got a lot of guys making contributions, a lot of young players, and it just seems to me like the chemistry is amazing, and it just keeps getting better.
Oh yeah, for sure. And at this point in the season, there's always guys who are like, okay, we've been doing this a long time. Like, the season goes quick, but you spend more time with the team than you do with your own family, because you're together every day playing games and stuff. And just today at practice, one of the guys was like, man, I don't want this to end. And just a sophomore. So the team chemistry that we have, where guys, underclassmen who know they have a couple years left and should be good for those years, still just want this ride to keep going.
Winning helps that happen too, though, doesn't it? I mean, winning makes a lot of things a lot more fun.
Oh, yeah. I can think back a couple of years ago where maybe I didn't think the same way I am now about the season ending.
And the thing with it, when I talked to Drew a couple of weeks ago, it was kind of the same thing. He had been there when it wasn't quite so good, and now reaping the benefits of that. That's just the result of a lot of hard work by a lot of people.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I've said that so many times this year, that just like these seniors have earned the right to have a season like this just based off of the work that they put in for 4 years, especially coming into a program that won 4 games the year before they got there, and just putting their head down and going to work and trusting the process. yeah, they deserve this.
Talk about that process from your point of view, though. I mean, you, excuse me, you had to assess things every step of the way, decide what you need here, what you need there, and I know you've talked a lot about how the younger programs have really helped. I mean, talk about the process for you on how you got here.
Well, I'm very fortunate. I grew up in Defiance, Ohio, Northwest Ohio, and they are a powerhouse baseball program. A school about the size of Plymouth, a town about the size of Plymouth, maybe a hair bigger, but they're pumping out D1 baseball players almost every year, it seems like. And so playing under Coach Tom Held there, who was in the American Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame, and Rick Weaver, who's now taken over the program and just kept running with it. Very fortunate to kind of have that as my blueprint for how I wanted to run my team once I took over as head coach. So that started it. And then I feel like what I do really well is I kind of have that feel for what does the team need today? What does the team need this year? Kind of where the player's at. And I'm not afraid to ask. So these seniors, like with how much they've been around and how much work they've put in, even today in practice, I was like, hey guys, what do you want to do today? We've got a couple options, give them the options and let them go with it. So they trust the process, but they also buy into it. And when you kind of give them that freedom to choose, I think it helps with that a little bit too.
I mean, that gets your buy-in. I mean, they have some stake in what's going to happen, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it works. It works for these guys. I don't think I would do that with every team, but these seniors are mature enough and understand the game well enough. And we kind of tell them, you got to be your own best coach. I don't know how your arm's feeling day to day or that type of thing. So they have to kind of feel that out for themselves and adjust day by day and let me know how they're feeling, and we kind of build a plan around that.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned Defiance, because I think back in my coaching days, I got a set of long toss drills from the coach over there that they use that, help their pitchers.
Was Tom Held. Yep.
Yeah, I used those drills for years when I was coaching. And
Yep, and we do them. He kind of invented overload, underload training without even knowing it when he was growing up playing in high school. In his barn in his backyard, he had a softball, a baseball, and a tennis ball laying around. I'm sorry, there's a dump truck.
It's okay.
He had a softball, baseball, and a tennis ball laying around, and he would just throw into a net all three weights and kind of just overload, underload is the whole big thing with drive line right now. And he was doing it back in, I don't even know, the 80s maybe.
Baseball coaches are a different breed because, you talk to a basketball coach and he'll try to hide everything. He's not going to tell you his secrets, but baseball coaches, they'll tell you they love the game and they want your kids to succeed.
I think the good coaches will, right? Because it's about the kids anyway, and iron sharpens iron. So if we're giving secrets to somebody in our conference, secrets, air quotes, and it's helping their guys get better, then we're facing better competition and helps us get better. So good baseball is fun baseball. We want to play good teams. We want to play good players, and we want the best for the kids ultimately.
Talk about what you think you're doing best now. I mean, you've had some areas I'm sure that you've had to work on over the course of the year. Have you improved in those areas?
Yeah, and I think it was trying to find like the last piece or two to the team. Probably the first half of the season, I think we were kind of in that boat where it's which guy's going to step up and take those last spot or two. And so once we kind of figured out who that was, then it was okay. Let's get this unit to gel as a whole. And we kind of hit our stride there the last couple weeks of the season. And we knew like we had the tools, we had the pitching in place with our two seniors carrying us. And we had the offense that came back from last year, only missing one or two pieces. So we knew the pieces were there, but it was just kind of taking last year's team, replacing those two pieces, and then figuring out how it works for this year's team.
Sectional today, I guess you got, by the time we play this, North Judson will be coming up. But I want to talk about your first game a little bit. I mean, you mentioned just a little bit earlier, iron sharpens iron, and Argus not having the kind of year that they would really want to have. An easy game like that, do you feel like that? I always felt like I was worried about that. I wanted a tougher game because you know what I'm saying? You get that mindset, right. That killer mindset.
Correct. And I hear what you're saying. we kind of had that the last 2 weeks too, where we were playing those Northridge 4A school, Marion 3A school, Plymouth 3A school. So we were playing bigger schools, kind of gearing up for this, knowing that Argus was ultimately sitting there for us. And I feel bad for those guys. Like, they wanted to do well. Their coach wanted to do well. I think they started a lacrosse program. I think that kind of really, really hurt their baseball team. Spring sport at a school that size, you kind of got to pick one and just go with it. So I feel bad for them. And like 30 runs, like we're not out there trying to run up the score. Like, we were just hitting the ball and hitting it where they weren't and hitting it hard so they couldn't get to it. And it was one of those games where it's like, you don't know what the right thing to do is. We're not trying to run up the score, but people are going to look at the box score and be like, geez, Trayden's running up the score. And I really hope that they don't feel that way in any way. And we got our subs in there. So it was good for them, those guys, to play in a tournament game too and kind of feel that atmosphere, even with it being Argus. But yeah, you're right. Knowing that they were there for us and getting the boys like fired up to play, it was a little bit easier because it was a sectional game and that it's, hey, win or go home. But I feel like that like trap game that you're talking about is kind of with today's game in Judson. We had a couple of close games with them earlier in the year, only won 13-9, gave up a lot of runs. And then the next day they only beat them 4-1. So they're a team that they've got a couple players, and if they piece it together, they can probably sneak up on somebody.
Well, and it's the third time you're playing them. That's a conference opponent, so they definitely know you.
Correct. Yep. And that's part of it too, right? So you hopefully show them something new that they weren't ready for, or just go beat their best stuff with your best stuff, and maybe we'll try to do both today.
Who are you going to be pitching? I think I know the answer to this question, but who's going to be on the mound for you?
Braxton Kaufman.
Really?
So he pitched that game 2 against them where he only gave up 1 run in the complete game. I think he had double digit strikeouts and really kept them in check. So looking forward to seeing him out there. Drew is available. We just want him in that sectional championship game on Saturday. So if we need him to shut down the last couple innings, he's there to do that too.
It's got to feel really good to know you have 2 really good options every time you go out there.
Oh yeah, we've got that 1A, 1B. Drew's our 1 just because of the command and only 10 walks all year. But Braxton could go out there and be a lot of 1A schools ace and just dominate the competition too.
Looking ahead, you still got, probably South Central, but Oregon Davis has got a decent little team there too. I mean, this is going to be a tough championship game if you survive today.
Yeah, it will be. And we've kind of known that the way the bracket laid out, that we've got a tough road no matter who's there at the end. They've earned their spot to be there. So yeah, we're taking it one game at a time, and we're just trying to focus on, winning each pitch, not even each game, but just be competitive and win each pitch.
Well, man, I want to thank you for taking the time. Good luck to you today, and let's do this again.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rusty.
That is Mark Elliott, the head coach at Triton. And in this segment of the Coaches Show, joined by Aaron Perch, the head coach of the Bremen Lions. It's a good win for you guys the other night.
Yeah, it really was. I appreciate it, Rusty. Everything kind of came together and clicked for us there. JJ was super, super efficient. I feel like he's just getting stronger as the season's gone on, and kind of has been the theme all year. Everybody 1 through 9 doing something to lead the charge and contribute to the effort. So good for the team identity, but kind of back to square one today,
Yeah. I don't envy you. Here 2 games in a row, you're going to be playing a conference opponent. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah, it really is. Got to take batting practice here in a couple hours, and just got to remind the guys that the score is 0-0 right now. Nothing that happened a month and a half ago matters. That right now it's 0-0, and you got to play baseball to change that. So, yeah, I think the guys are up for the challenge. You can't control who's in the sectional, but yeah, definitely we have a difficult run here against some teams that are hungry for it.
Talk about your team here a little bit. I mean, what do you think you're doing best right now?
No, maybe not specifically a baseball thing, but just the level of kind of togetherness and belief they have in each other. I think if you look in our dugout, there's guys that have taken maybe 3 varsity at bats all year that are the most invested in the game and understand their role. I mean, the bullpen catcher relishes like seeing the guy he warmed up go in the game and pitch well. Juniors that have played JV all year I'm giving them the nickname coach because they're so supportive of, we've had 9 guys take 90% of our plate appearances this year. And I don't think I've had one complaint from players, parents, anybody about that. And so I showed the guys Coach Gruden's video about, everyone kind of punching the rock together. And it kind of resonated with them. And I think, baseball team late in the year, if everybody's pulling the rope together, punching the rock together, it makes for a pretty powerful force.
Well, and that kind of togetherness just, it infiltrates the program and makes the whole thing work a lot better.
Yeah, you try to tell these guys, younger guys, you make a sacrifice now, and then there's some middle schooler out there who's hopefully going to do the same for you in a couple of years. And so you hope it kind of cycles on itself and just keeps on repeating.
What do you think you need to get better at? I mean, I'm sure you still got a list of things you'd like to do better. What might be on that?
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are victim to it, Rusty, but that nightmare big inning where, something starts to slide and then how kids' minds are. Sometimes the head starts spinning and one error turns into 3 and then one walk turns into walking the bases loaded. And so as a coach, too, kind of feeling the moment, knowing when you have to go make your mound visit and calm the guys down. And as a team, I don't think it's a lack of focus so much as it is, allowing a moment of adversity to kind of spiral into something worse. Every team deals with that. Outside of that, I guess defensively, we've played a lot better the last few weeks, but you can always be better on defense, especially Jimtown's booster field plays pretty fast on the infield. And so our infielders are used to a much slower infield down in Bremen. But no, I'd say big picture, we're playing pretty well. Just kind of fine tuning some of those small things that come up.
Baseball is such a mental game, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, I mean, kids are out of school this last week and a half, and so you always wonder kind of the change of routine, change of mindset. Took us a few games to get used to it, but really like what I've seen in practice yesterday and, the way we came out against LaVille, real energetic from the start.
Seeing you guys play against Glenn, that was my first chance to see you guys play. And, I really like the way you run the bases. I love that aggression because it's just, if you're playing defense against that, you never get to breathe. I mean, you are under pressure. If you don't field every ball perfectly cleanly, there's a really good shot. You're not going to get him. You just put a lot of pressure on people, and I really like that style of play.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think makes the game fun too. A kid who maybe can't hit the 89-mile-an-hour fastball or throw the ball across the diamond from third to first. If you got wheels and a little intuition, you can make a heck of an impact on the game. And I think having that 1 through 9 in our order, even some of our slower guys are becoming pretty savvy base runners. Sensalewski stole third in that game to make it force the overthrow, make it 5-2, and that was largely just him kind of recognizing the third baseman was coming in on the bunt. And as the years gone on, you've kind of seen them go from just being athletes on the bases to ball players on the bases, kind of hunting those spots where you could do something with your legs.
And you got guys all up and down that order can handle the bat a little bit too, which makes that style of play a little bit easier.
Yeah, we've done a really good job avoiding the strikeout this year, and so on one hand, early in the at bat, being willing to take a pitch or two to let a guy steal, knowing that you'll be all right in the 2-strike count, and then conversely, knowing if we can get a guy in scoring position, it's probably not going to go to waste. There's at least going to be some sort of action in the field to give him a chance to get around and score.
Is that your philosophy from the beginning? Is this, something that you bring with you from past experience, that this is how you want your teams to play?
Well, if my high school coach heard this interview, he'd be saying, yeah, Perch ran the bases way too aggressive and ran into a million outs when he played growing up. So, of course, it came with into coaching. But, recognizing with our school, we have a lot of multi-sport athletes or just kids that have been in the weight room training in Coach Yoder's program, and thought that was something we could really leverage is maybe we don't have the biggest power hitters, the hardest throwers, but we've got kids that are pretty gritty and teach them how to head for a slide, how to build a secondary lead, and just as they learn the game more and more, that natural athleticism could take over, and kind of makes you excited to get on base too. That once you're on the bags, the game's really just starting.
Yeah, it's funny. I think over the years, the teams I've been around, guys like playing that. They call it small ball, but they like playing that style of baseball.
Oh, it took me a few weeks in the winter to sell everybody on the power of the bunt, but yeah, I'm going back to coaching JV as well for 3 years. I mean, anyone will tell you that you could really take advantage of some things on the bases at the junior varsity level. And, you wonder if it would apply and transfer to the varsity level, and obviously you got to pick your spots and not go overboard with it, but really seeing the guys, kind of made the point earlier, going just from guys running the bags to baseball players running the bags and sniffing out spots to make a play has been awesome to see.
Doesn't hurt you're hitting like 350 as a team either. I mean, that doesn't happen very often when a whole team is hitting over 300.
All right. And it feels like each guy's kind of had a different window of the year where he really was the guy. JJ came out hot early. Zach's been tearing the cover off lately. Landon Bates early in the year was an on-base machine with Corbin Van Vuren. Now, later in the year here, Jace Pippinger, Max Barnes have been driving in a ton of runs. And so it's been those same 9 guys all season, but each guy's kind of had his different spot where he's been the guy for us. So really exciting to see for the kids.
I know my partner, when he saw Zach hit, he really liked his swing. And I remember him as a freshman. He's come a long way. I mean, he was solid then, but he's really, really good.
Yeah, can't disagree with you there, Rusty. It's been amazing to watch, man. And I think he kind of leverages his frame a little bit. He's a short, stocky kid, but he'll get on the plate and crouch, and he will stand almost toes on the black of the plate if you let him. And like you said, he'll go opposite field. He'll pull balls. He hit a home run on Friday night against LaVille to break it open on the 8th pitch of an at-bat. And, last year, I'm not going to say he struggled with the stick, but it certainly wasn't batting 500 with 30-something RBIs. And tell you what, standing there coaching in the third base box, just when a kid comes up knowing something good is going to happen, I mean, what a luxury. We're really going to miss him next year, but Spalding's getting a good one for sure.
I know that my partner, Tony Pelopo, coached the Nemper boys, Bremen players, all the way back. I'm sure you weren't around Bremen at that point, but, Zach reminds us of those guys. They short, stocky guys that could run, and they were great hitters, and just a similar stroke. I mean, it's just, you would take film of him and show it to show people how they should be swinging a bat. I mean, he's really impressive.
Yeah, I moved here in 2018, but glad Zach's kind of cementing himself along with some of the other Bremen lower end legends, because the kid deserves it. Been a 4-year starter and just super dedicated to the program. The younger guys.
Your pitchers aren't doing bad either. You got 2 guys. I think you mentioned Senslewski, but I get the impression that Ton is actually maybe your number 1. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
That's been a little bit of an adventure all year. I mean, JJ just, you see him warm up and you think, okay, we'll hit this kid. And then it's the 5th inning. And you just haven't. I mean, you talk to him at school and he has a plan in mind for how he wants to attack every team. He's not just throwing the ball, but definitely has a sequence and plan for each hitter. And, Casey had a little hiccup against Glenn last week, but throughout the season, man, he's been super competitive and really in tune with kind of his own nuance of pitching. We're starting Buskowitz tonight against Knox. He's really come along the last week or two with pounding the zone, throwing strikes with his 2-seamer, but having Casey in the bullpen, being able to kind of push that button when we need him, when it kind of feels right in the game. But yeah, the depth of pitching is really kind of coming to form here. Even lefty Dave Montesmith kind of bailed through some early season control issues, and he's been really hard to hit. Throws a great changeup from the left side. So I think we kind of offer 4 or 5 different looks off the mound, which, if you play your cards right, you got an arm for any situation.
Yeah, Senslewski, he's that kind of guy I've seen over the years where you go up there and you strike out and you're walking back to the dugout saying, why did I swing at that? I mean, he just makes you chase him around the strike zone.
I mean, he's probably mid-70s on the fastball, but when guys are swinging late on it, he's got the mental edge somehow.
let's talk about Knox a little bit. They got that kind of team that, every coach I've talked to that's played them said, they just don't. You look at them and say we should win this game, but they don't evidently read the same press. I mean, they are a tough out.
Yeah, that's a couple hours here at batting practice. I gonna have a similar speech for the guys. They've got a couple guys that have been playing with them a real long time. Boyd's obviously, we're assuming he'll take the ball, but he's a great ball player. Always, he can do a lot with the bat and does a lot in the field. Yeah, one of those teams where you kind of let them hang around. You start letting them build a little momentum, and suddenly you're looking up. It's tight late. Just don't want to find yourself in that spot. And so, I think they're going to put the ball in play, kind of top to bottom of the order. They also run the bags pretty well. Pitching-wise, I know they've got a handful of arms that they can run out there, so you might expect Boyd, but they got a few other guys that have gone a lot of innings. And so, it's one of those games where get on the board early, kind of take control of the momentum and the energy. And if you could do that, I think I like where we're at. But, yeah, you let Knox hang around. I mean, you saw they scored 20-something runs in the first round, so I don't care who you're playing. That means you're putting bat on the ball and running the base as well. So we got to be ready to go. 0-0.
When you get by them, you don't have an easy one then either. I mean, this is a pretty tough sectional.
Yeah, it really is. Haven't gotten to look at Winnemac at all this year, and so kind of regardless of what happens in our game, I'd like to watch them play. But, yeah, the 2 days off in between kind of gives everyone a chance to reset and dial in on that final game. But a lot of competitive teams that, like you said, we got them early, but it's been a long time since we played them. It's almost a whole new season now.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for taking the time as always. I really appreciate it, and good luck to you, and hopefully we'll be talking again soon.
Yeah, thank you, Rusty. Appreciate your support.
It's Aaron Perch, the head coach at Bremen.
I'm talking with Scott Raudebush of the Raudebush Company. I always love talking to you, Scott, because we get a chance to come and meet together and look at the plaques that you've made, these beautiful plaques that you've made for the Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Year, along with the new Tony the Boss Ross Max 98.3 FM Athlete of the Year. This is really cool what we're doing, adding in Max 98.3. I wanted to have you on because I know you have a history with Winnemac Sports and, of course, your family, a big-time name at Winnemac. But also I wanted to talk about the work behind the scenes in getting these plaques together. This isn't all that you do here at the Raudebush Company, but talk about putting these plaques together and what the work that goes into it from your perspective.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the business. Thank you very much. And we worked pretty hard to make these plaques pretty nice. We put the picture on there, Tony the Boss Ross picture turned out awesome on here, and we can memorialize somebody and make it look really cool and immortalize their name forever. And we can make it look really, really cool. So if anybody wants a picture of a loved one or something on a plaque or on a bench or anything like that, we can do that and we can make that work. The other thing is I like the idea that you're doing another Athlete of the Year. The more athletes that get their name out there and rewarded for their efforts and their hard work, then that's great, So I think it's a great idea on the part of you guys as a radio station. And but we do that on our park benches. We make a lot of park benches here. We're in eBay and Etsy and Amazon, and we have 3 websites, and we put these plaques on a lot of our benches with a person's picture in memory of or a scripture or something they said. And we work really hard to make these things cool. And my philosophy is if I wouldn't want it for me, then we're not going to ship it out the door to the customer. So we're pretty versatile on what we can do. But park benches is our baby, but we can make plaques and trophies and anything you might want.
Yeah, they really turned out great. The Athlete of the Year plaque that we'll be giving to the athlete, a beautiful gloss, a black background with I love the new design we've got, the gold and black lettering on top of that. And then also the Athlete of the Year plaques that have all the names of all the winners. Of course, on Max, it'll be the very first winner. Those will be housed, of course, here at the WKVI studio. And then the Tony the Boss Ross Max 98.3 Athlete of the Year plaque will be housed at Johnson Danielson Funeral Home for people to see as they come into WKVI and Johnson Danielson. That's just really cool. The work that you've put into it to make it look snazzy, very professional and fancy. How did you get into this line of work?
Oh, that's a long story, boy. My dad started the business with my dad and my brother wanted to make buckboard benches. A buckboard bench is the bench that sits on an old Western wagon where the springs on it, it bounces, and they got a contract with John Deere and sold 1,000 of these buckboard benches painted green with the John Deere logo on it, and that got us started. But we've evolved through the years and got into park benches with recycled plastic lumber, and it's a better fit for us now. So the business has evolved. We struggled for a few years, but right now we're keeping our head above water. Business is good, and knock on wood, but we're pretty happy where we're at.
And how can people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of us. They can call us 574-595-0030 or visit one of our 3 websites, but one of them is Memorial Park Bench 1, the number 1.com, memorialparkbench1.com. And it's pretty cool, pretty user-friendly, so check us out.
Yeah, and then another thing I wanted to talk about was you and your family's history with Winnemac. I know a lot of the teams, of course, WKVI covers 8 schools on this side of the area of the state, and then Max covers another 8 on the other, in Marshall County in that area. And a lot of those teams travel to Winnemac, and they may play on that football field, Roudabush Field. That ring a bell for you? What talk about the connection there and what your family's history is with Winnemac?
Well, it all stems from my grandfather, Earl D. Roudabush. And Earl D. Roudabush was at IU in 1910, and he started the very first high school basketball tournament. And that's really why he is in the Hall of Fame, not necessarily for taking Winnemac to the state championship game in 1932. And also that he taught Johnny Wooden. You know what I mean? He taught a great basketball figure in the 8th grade. So I think that's pretty cool too, but that's my thing, not necessarily that he started the first ever basketball tournament. But I would do a shout out. I gotta say that I'm a Boilermaker at heart, but my entire family went to IU, and so my grandfather went to IU, my dad went to IU, met his first wife at IU, and then I got to say that my son Jackson just graduated from IU last week, so we're really proud of all that. I'll put the Boilermaker thing aside for a little while here, but I'm sure we'll battle over the years on that. But my grandfather, was the backbone of why sports is important to us in Winnemac, and we're very proud that the football field is named after him.
One thing I think is really cool is you just kind of mentioned it, is the connection with John Wooden. And a lot of people, of course, the younger generation, I'd like to think they've heard of John Wooden, but I know my generation, of course, I'm only in my early 30s. I always heard of John Wooden. My grandfather, who grew up in West Lafayette area, always talked about John Wooden. He said he'd sneak in. He said he knew the janitor. He'd let him sneak in. It was standing room only to watch John Wooden play basketball there at Purdue. Talk about the connection with John Wooden, just for the history's sake. I think that's so cool.
Well, John Wooden went to high school at Martinsville, and he ended up going to the state championship game 3 times in the late 20s when, even before, Hoosiers was made and Indiana basketball was at the peak of its, popularity. So, but my grandfather went to Martinsville and got a job, and he was the assistant basketball coach, and he coached Johnny Wooden in the 8th grade. And I've looked it all up, and then I even got a hold of Johnny Wooden. And this gives me my age a little bit. So this has been 30 years ago that I got a hold of John Wooden, and he sent me documents, sent me a couple letters and his pyramid of success. And, I remember your grandfather well and in school, and I think that's pretty neat stuff.
Yeah, and he went on to be arguably, if not the greatest college basketball coach of all time, with all those championships with UCLA. I just think that's a really cool connection that you and your family have with John Wooden. But overall, you've coached a lot of sports at Winnemac. Talk about the coaching stints and all that you've done for local high school sports, especially at Winnemac.
Well, thanks. I coached golf for 15 years, and that's my love. We did, won 3 sectionals and like 15 conference championships between the 2 girls sports and boys golf. And then I was that utility guy. So I coached 8th grade basketball, 6th grade girls, you know what I mean, in basketball. So I had a lot of jobs like that, but I enjoyed that a lot. You know, that was really, really fun. We did a lot more things than that. I was the announcer, the PA announcer for basketball for 10 or 12 years, and, you know, did the chain gang. We did a little bit of everything, you know. So now we're just kind of working. My son's getting ready to take over here at our factory, and I'm enjoying playing a lot of golf.
You know, KVB took a big hit a couple of years ago when we lost Tony Ross. I know you said you never personally got to meet him, but I'm sure you heard his voice over the years. And I know from talking with him before he passed, he had come to Winnemac to do ball games in the past. But I do know you did know Tyler Roth, which is who WKVI's Athlete of the Week and Athlete of the Year is named after. If you could rack your memory of anything that reminds you of Tyler Roth that comes to mind.
Well, we owned Moss Creek Golf Course for 30 years, and you know, back when Tyler was in high school, he would come out and play a lot of golf. He wasn't on the golf team, but he would come out and play a lot of golf, and I'd get to talk to him one-on-one quite often. And you know, you don't think much about it as a high school kid just coming out to play, and how important that time really was, that you got the opportunity to talk to him, and you know, didn't think this tragedy was going to, you know, really happen. And you know, you can't foresee the future, but boy, you just need to take every minute and enjoy every conversation you have with people, and you know, think maybe this is the last time that I might ever talk with them.
Well, Scott, I sure do appreciate all the work you do here at the Roudabush Company. It means a lot, and the relationship that we've gotten over the last few years has been great. I know we don't talk very often, but it's always around April or May when we're planning this stuff and putting together our Athlete of the Year. It's a fun project to work on with you, and I appreciate the conversations we've had and everything I've learned your history at Winnemac. It's just been an honor to get to know you, Scott. So thank you so much for the work. These plaques just look first class, just beautiful. So I thank you so much for your hard work and effort, and we hope to continue this wonderful tradition.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Mitch.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for, myself included. The security guards showed up at the door this morning with the hermetically sealed envelope that's been kept deep in the vaults at the mothership of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting to keep all this a secret. Our very first Tony the Boss Ross Athlete of the Year award is going to be given to somebody who's very deserving. It was a difficult decision. We narrowed it down to 3, and all 3 were, it was just a very, very difficult decision. But we came up with a final choice, and a very deserving one. This athlete is from Bremen High School, was the outstanding female athlete there. Bremen Athletics Wall of Fame inductee, 3-sport senior athlete award. She won 12 varsity letters. Do the math. That's 4-year varsity letter winner in all 3 sports. Volleyball was the conference co-MVP this year. Had a school record in career aces. By the way, this is just some of her accomplishments. It's just an amazing list. Basketball, 1,230 career points. That's 5th all-time at Bremen. IBCA Small School All-State First Team this year, honorable mention a year ago. The Indiana Association of Girls Coaches named her 2nd team and 3rd team a year ago. It's the INSC Conference MVP this year and holds the school records in assists in a season and assists in a career with 114 for the season and 344 in her career. That's just some of the accomplishments, and played on a team that had 2 conference championships, 2-time Final Four participant. In softball, all-state possible this year. That hasn't been announced yet, but there's a good shot at that for her. Had school records for doubles in a season with 16, career doubles with 36. Don't want to name drop, but the name on the list that's now number 2 to this athlete is Erin Koffel, who is a professional softball player, and she graduated from Bremen not that long ago. And so, without further ado, we have an interview with our very first Tony the Boss Ross Athlete of the Year, Eliana Grubbs from Bremen. The second interview. See, now you're an old hand at this. You ought to just blow through this easily.
I hope so.
Let's go back to when you were young. I got to assume basketball was the sport you started with.
Yes, yes.
Why that? What was it that it made you say, "Hey, I want to try that"?
Honestly, I think it was just my friends getting me into it. Like, we all started pretty young, so it was just a fun thing to do together.
Was there anything in particular? I mean, were you around it growing up? How old were you, first of all?
I would assume first grade was when I started
Okay.
like going to camps and stuff, but other than that, it was just me and my dad probably just messing around on the little plastic hoop.
Did you have that old Hoosier story? Did you have the basket out in the driveway? And
Well, not when I was super young, but it's like those little like kid ones that are just like in your basement. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I have.
so you learned how to slam dunk before you could even shoot.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Well, there
I was
you
pretty
go.
good at it.
You have to bring that into your game in college here.
Oh, yeah.
So you started playing other sports. When did that come around?
Well, I think the next one was probably softball. I mean, baseball back then because
Right.
I didn't have softball, but that just started because my dad, was the coach and obviously kind of wanted me to play, so that was fun. And then cheer because my mom, and
Yeah,
that started
okay.
pretty young. Gymnastics. Then once middle school started, it's volleyball, track,
So
just
you did a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So it had to be fun. I mean, obviously, I'm going to guess basketball is your favorite,
Yes, you're right.
but there had to be fun other time. I mean, do you have a second favorite or?
Right now, for my second favorite would probably volleyball.
Okay,
I mean, then softball, but they're pretty close.
right,
Yeah.
right. Well, now let's talk about that. I mean, the softball. Let's go to there first. That is a huge sport here in Bremen.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since I came back and they added softball, I remember I came back here when Chris Kuhl was a coach, and they won about 56 straight conference games or some crazy number like that. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't lose a conference game for like 3 years. It's like they've always been good. I mean, did that influence you wanting to get involved, that tradition?
I mean, yeah, I remember going to the state games 2 years in a row. Obviously, I kind of wanted to be like them, and Erin Koffel, she played basketball too, so I was like, I even have her number, so I was like, even better, like, yeah, but they just were great to look up to, and yeah.
You were a little bit too young to play with Erin, right?
Oh yeah, too young.
You got a chance to see her play,
Yes,
though.
yes.
What was that like? I mean, you were watching somebody, we didn't know it then, but she's a pro softball player.
Yeah. I mean, back then I didn't realize the depth of who she was, and I mean, I obviously knew she was good. She was hitting bombs every game. But every now, like, you'll hear her name every day if we're at the softball field, like, just Erin,
Well, you're that kind of a player. I mean, you're going to get
Yep.
mentioned. But okay, now, how did it make you feel when you learned? I mean, you were closing in on a couple of her records this year. I mean, what did that feel like?
I mean, it felt good. I didn't realize it, obviously. Just my dad, like, looking back at the record books, but she missed one of her years because of COVID, so I was like, she probably would have blew me out. But I mean, if it wasn't her doubles record, she was probably just hitting bombs. So I mean,
Yeah.
So.
And but doubles, man. I used to recruit baseball players in college, and that's what we looked at was doubles because a double's always a double.
Yeah,
Home
that's
run
true.
isn't always. I
Yeah.
mean, it depends on the field a lot.
Yeah, doubles are fun. It was like all my doubles are pretty much like hit the fence. So I'm like, oh well. I mean, I could go 3, but like they'll probably throw me out.
You're not slow.
No. It's just like it just hit the fence, so it come right back to them.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of softball?
I would say playing shortstop, making the plays.
So
Yeah.
you like defense?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's interesting because most people, it's like I like swinging the bat.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, I like getting on base and everything, but
I get it that even watching you play basketball, there's an element of fun to everything you do. You usually have a smile on your face and you're usually
Yeah.
having a good time. Is that true?
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
What
Doing
about
fun.
it do you enjoy the most? What makes you smile the most?
Probably just playing with my friends, honestly. I mean, every sport I have friends in, and yeah, it's just fun, even win or lose. So
Let's talk about that a little bit because you've had a chance to play all the way through, especially in basketball with folks that you came up together, you played together all the way
Yeah.
through. Talk about them a little bit because there's a special bond that grows there. Isn't
yeah, especially in basketball because we started so young. Like we just know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we know how to build each other up without bringing each other down at the same time. So it's just really fun to play with them and have that bond. Yeah.
This year, I think it was more evident, at least the games I saw you play, than in the past, was the fact that you kind of had a sense that you guys knew where the other one was, even when you weren't looking at it.
Yeah, yeah. Especially both MLS and MMK. As soon as they got the rebound, got the pass, I just looked up. They're there. Easy lay.
I used to say to your coach all the time, I knew you guys were going to be good.
Yeah.
But I never thought you would see 3 really talented guards that you guys were one player. It was, I don't know how you guard that.
No, I mean, it was hard for sure, but, just stick together all throughout high school, and we knew we could be good, so.
What is your favorite memory from playing basketball? Is it the state runs or?
I mean, honestly, probably this year just the most memorable because after our first semi-state game that we won, I saw our coaches crying, and then during the game, just the passing of our teammate's mom, that just really all brought us together, and it was just a fun experience to just go through that together.
I don't want to get into anything that's going to, bring back bad memories, but I remember that game, and there was a feeling that, and then the guy I do the games with, Peyton Skirvin does with me. He was there, and when I think it was Tegan hit a shot or something, the very first one, and then she looks up in the stands and he started crying because he knew what had happened, and we were not going to dwell on that because we wanted to respect the family. But I mean, he's got family up here too, and he knew what had happened. I mean, that had to have been just it
was great,
beautiful moment for all of you.
It felt so amazing for her to hit that shot because we know how much she wanted it. So
let's talk about the early days. What was your favorite part about playing when you were younger?
Ooh. I mean, I think it was the gradual feeling to getting better and seeing the results of getting better and just growing as a team and having these goals of one day maybe state is a goal at one point. So
I remember watching you as a freshman, and I thought you were damn good then. Where was the point where you suddenly realized, I might be pretty good at this?
Well, honestly, it started in 7th grade, because 7th grade I started actually working hard, getting good, and then I started playing AAU because I wanted to be seen by college coaches and everything, and I knew I could get to that next level, and then just a confidence booster starting varsity freshman year, so just around 7th to 9th grade.
I was going to say, there's always a point with an athlete who has that kind of skill where they finally decide, I'm going to put some work in. And you said it's 7th grade.
Yeah.
Now, I get the feeling, though, you like the work.
It was fun, especially when you can see the results. They're not right away, but when you get to the games, and you're able to score now.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
You had a chance to play with some really good players freshman year on up, too. I mean, there have been a lot of really good basketball players at Bremen. How did they help you as you were, you're this freshman coming in, and you were the point guard, for goodness sakes? I mean, did they open arms bring you in? Is that how that worked?
They opened, like you said, open arms. They trusted me. I got, I was able to just, let them do their thing, and they let me do mine without doing too much as a freshman or anything. So, yeah.
Like I said, you had some good players on that team when you were a freshman. How did that feel to have them just welcome you in?
Yeah, I felt good. I felt very respected, and I wanted them to respect me because I knew I was able to play with them, and I was just glad that they were able to do that, and I didn't have any trouble.
Over the years, what's been the hardest thing for you?
I would say trying to bring up the underclassmen to be not as good as us, but to have that work ethic and passion for the game. So
you would consider yourself a leader?
Yeah, I'd say so. If you want to put it that way.
Are you a vocal leader, or are you just one of those people that comes out and shows people how they need to go about their business and practice?
I'm more of not a vocal leader. Yeah. But I mean, defense, I'll like be a little vocal, but other than that, I'm just kind of like show them how it's done. Yeah.
Let's move on to school for a little bit. You have a favorite subject in school?
Probably English, just because it's not the easiest, but like out of all the subjects, math.
Yeah.
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 I choose English.
got you there. I got you there. I was an English history guy, but
Yeah.
And you know, as a girl athlete, I've always been fascinated with that concept because you guys play most of the time Tuesday, Thursday nights. So you may be in Fort Wayne on a Tuesday night and have a test on Wednesday. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The boys
yeah.
don't have that dynamic of really having to, you know, figure out a way to get your schoolwork done. Did that ever become a problem or?
I don't think it was ever a problem. I mean, I had like some free periods. I had a study hall. I had, you know, our longer class periods helped us like get some work done in class. But on the bus, I was able to hit up a hot spot sometimes if I needed to, or just a late night. It's fine.
See, that's the thing. I'm sure girls have a lot of really late nights because even you know, baseball players may understand this more because they play during the week too.
Yeah.
But you know, football guys, Friday night.
Yeah.
Basketball guys, Friday night. I mean, they're done with school for the week, and it's got to be draining energy-wise too.
I mean, you get used to it, but I mean, I think I'm a late night, early riser anyway. So
I think I gather what you're telling me is if you can time manage, you're probably going to be okay.
yeah.
And the other part of that too is you think that's going to help you in college because it's going to be even worse in college. You're not going to play in high school if you don't get your grades, but in college they'll just send you home. Do you think that's going to be helpful to you?
I think it'll be helpful. I mean, I'll still need to adjust and everything, get used to it, because it'll be a change and it'll be harder than high school. So, but I think I'll be able to handle my time well.
It's a little bit more of a job when you get to college too, because you know you've got a scholarship. There's some money on the line, and there are some expectations of making sure you show up for work every day and do your work. I mean, and none of your teammates are going to be like they used to be, where hey, let's go hang out. It's going to be like, hey, she's taking a spot from me. I'm going to, you know, there's going to be that element of it sometimes. I mean, do you think you'll adjust to that one?
I think I will. I mean, we all have one goal is just to win, obviously, and get better. I don't think anyone's going to be too selfish to where we'll have problems.
Right.
So I think it'll just be fun to get to know each other and work together.
What would you consider a good first year? I mean, a freshman coming in, you're going to Cornerstone. Playing time, I mean, what do you see as a goal for you the first year?
I'm hoping to, I mean, at least be one of the first off the bench, if not a starter. I mean, I think I have the capability of being a starter, but I just need to definitely adjust to the college game because I know it's different and I haven't experienced it yet. So by the end of the year, hopefully start, if not first off bench. So
sometimes too, it's the not on the court stuff. I mean, you got to learn you're going to be on your own. I mean, you're not going to have anybody telling you to get up in the morning. You're not going to have anybody cooking dinner for you. You're going to have to take care of yourself. And you feel like you're going to adjust to that well?
Yeah, I think I'll be okay. But just because like I'm kind of used to it because I usually get up on my own and go to 0 hour just before school, before anyone else is up. And I mean, I'll have to cook my own meals, but
yeah,
I mean, sometimes I can go to the cafeteria. That'll be fine.
Go.
Yeah. But
when you're done and you know the basketball days are over, what do you see yourself doing when in the adult world, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going into psychology, so probably something to do with that. I don't know specifically what kind of job I want to do with that yet because there's so many realms of that. Yeah. And probably working as a coach somewhere, hopefully.
I was just going to ask, you see coaching in your future?
Yeah, probably if I'm trying to make some more money. But I mean, if I don't get the time, I go to the time, but I'll be able to coach my own kids.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
And it's kind of in your blood, too. I mean, your dad was a coach, and now he's the AD here at Bremen. I mean,
I'll definitely keep sports in my life. Yeah.
Very good. It was good to get to know you again. Congratulations. Good luck. And
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll be in contact on down the line.
Yeah. Thank you for this award.
No problem.
It's an honor.